My name is Chef Danielle Gleason, and I'm a chef instructor at Sullivan University in Louisville, Kentucky. Today I'm here with you to teach you a little bit about some tricks about measuring your products when you're baking and cooking. Sometimes we can't figure out why our chocolate chip cookies are a little more dense or a little fluffier than the last time. And what it usually has to do with is our mixing methods and how we measure. So a quick few tips to let you know how to measure exactly. When we're working with flour, when we have a loose, dry product like this, we never want to take our measuring cup and place it into the item to scoop our product out. That will be compacted, and with a thing like flour, we don't want that compaction. So what we're going to do is we're going to take another item and we're going to scoop that flour into the measuring cup. It may take a few more minutes, but what's that a big deal if you're going to have the most perfect cookies or cake that come out of the oven? So go ahead and scoop it to where it's going over the top, and then take a flat item like a palette knife or a bench scraper, and go ahead and level that flour off to make sure you have the perfect amount of flour needed in that recipe. When we move on to items like brown sugar, oftentimes you're going to see that saying that it needs to be firmly packed. And that's because all of these granules are fairly large, and we want to make sure that we're getting the proper measurement. So with clean hands, of course, we want to go into our brown sugar and press as hard as we can, and then again take our hand, push the product down, take the leveler once again, and scrape the top of that sugar. That way you're aware you have that firmly packed cup that you need for the recipe that you're making. When we measure ingredients, we also have to know the different ways to weigh versus measure. So over here you can see that when we have a dry measuring cup, such as the metal ones in front of me, they're going to have a handle, they're going to be metal, and they're going to gradiate for the measurements that you need. They come in several sizes. These are exactly like most measuring cups bought at home, several sizes, again, your dry measuring cups. When you look at the spouted plastic or glass that you'll purchase, those will be used for liquids. Unfortunately, some of the recipes you get throw the measurements in a whole different direction, and you need to use a scale when it comes to ounces, pounds, etc. So a digital scale, these of course are commercial digital scales that we work in kitchens that are available to the public, or you can go to your local box store and pick one up for a very low price, and they set for grams, ounces, pounds, etc. So you can go ahead and weigh those ingredients that are needed. Please know that there's certain ingredients that do not weigh in the measure the same. So when you're measuring liquids, of course your water and your milk can be measured in a measuring cup. But when it comes to oil and things of that nature, they should be measured on a scale when it comes to ounces. Remember, if it says cups, use your cups. But if it explains the measuring technique, please use scales. That way we can guarantee that everything you're measuring is accurate and your product is exactly the way you would like to serve it. Thanks so much for taking time today to learn tips from us here at Sullivan University.